guys, this is Emily from Emily's Anthology, and today I'm bringing to you, straight from its first day of release, the Rihanna Hearts MAC or RiRi Hearts MAC fall inspired makeup look. So this is kind of the overall look based on the imagery of Rihanna's MAC campaign, and it is such an amazingly gorgeous look. I just had to do it. I hope that you guys like it. I've done it kind of to suit a little bit more Asian skin tones and Asian eyes especially. So yeah, that's kind of the look. I hope you guys enjoy watching the tutorial, and if you did, please share and please thumbs up the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Okay, so to start off with, I already have a little bit of base on my skin from before, but I'm just going to go touch it up a little bit. I am using the Bobbi Brown Luminous Moisturizing Treatment Foundation. This is one of their latest foundations, and the color I am using is Sand. So I'm just going to apply this where I need a little bit extra coverage. And for me, that's my cheek area. So to achieve the look that they did on Rihanna, I kind of dug into my own makeup stash to find eyeshadow colors that are really similar, and I came up with two different palettes that I'm going to be using for different purposes. The first is this Body Shop palette. It is their Smoky Copper Eye palette, and it just looks like this. And this one has the gold tones that I want to be using for the entire eyelid. And I'm also going to be using this amazing collaboration palette between Bobbi Brown and Katie Holmes, who is their current spokesperson. And it is just an amazing looking palette that has 8 eyeshadows and 2 pot rouge colors, which you can use on the cheeks as well as on the lips. And then it comes with a little eyeliner on the bottom as well. So I'm going to start off by mixing this color in with this color just to get a little bit of warmth to my eyeshadows on a fluffy blending brush. I'm just going to tap off the excess onto the back of my hand here. And I'm going to apply that all over the eyelid, all the way to the eyebrows. So the gold color that she uses can be a little bit deeper and a little bit warmer than the gold color that I'm using. I'm choosing something a little bit more light just because that suits my skin tone well, and that's what you should do overall when you're trying to copy a makeup look. Always think about the way that the makeup is going to sit on your skin before you actually go out and buy the exact same eyeshadow palette that's being used, because sometimes different colors look different on different people. And I'm not saying that the dark colors on Rihanna wouldn't look good on you. I'm just saying if you chose a color that probably suited your skin tone a little bit more, it would look a lot better. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to run a slightly deeper color, and that is this brown color over here, and it's kind of a bronzy goldish brown. This one is going to go with the same brush all over my lid, right up to the crease. Okay, now moving on to the outer wing of the eyes, Rihanna has this really kind of cat eye look going on. Not much on the liner, but very much on the eyeshadow. I'm using this really gorgeous kind of cocoa purplish brown color to do that outer crease. It is from the Bobbi Brown and Katie Holmes palette, and the color is Black Cocoa. So I'm just picking it up and applying it with an angled eyeshadow brush. As you can see, what I'm doing is kind of putting in a flick right at the outer corners of the eyes. And a good guide for that is just to aim for the ends of your eyebrows. And then what I'm doing is I'm dragging it in onto the lower lash line, forming a kind of triangle. And then once you've got that overall shape mapped out, you want to blend it out a little bit, and I'm using just a little tiny eyeshadow brush for that. And what I'm doing is basically just kind of softening the eyes and bringing that brown color eyeshadow into a gradient towards the inner parts of the eyes. So once that's done, I'm going to go back in with the fluffy eyeshadow that I used on the rest of the eyelid earlier, and dip that into the same cocoa black eyeshadow. And what I want to do is create a kind of rounder outer crease. We did elongate it, but now we want to kind of just make it softer and rounder. So I'm just going to take it on the very outermost corners of my eyes, if you can see just over here. I'm blending in very, very tiny circular motions. Just extending that eyeshadow and making it more circular. Now this color is a little bit too cool and a little bit too black for my liking, so what I'm going to do is actually mix in the Body Shop eyeshadow palette, this dark brown color over here, just to add a little bit of warmth to that eyeshadow. You don't want to take this eyeshadow too far out onto the lash line because Rihanna's is pretty close to her crease. So that's the eyeshadow on the upper lash line more or less done. Now I'm going to go in with the same Body Shop eyeshadow palette and mix in the darkest color and the lightest color. And then I'm just going to run that with a tiny pinpoint pencil eyeshadow brush onto my lower lash line. And then finally, to finish the eyes off, I'm just going to go in with this color over here in the palette, the lightest color, with my clean finger, and apply it to the innermost corners of the eyes, just to open the eyes up. Moving on to the eyeliner now, I'm going in with my Clinique True Black Cream Liner. And I'm going to line the eyes pretty evenly, all the way until the outer corners. There's not much of a wing with this look, but it does get a little bit thicker at the outer corners, so that's what I'm going to do. So now the eyeliner is done and I'm going to move on to the false eyelashes. The lashes I'm going to be using are actually just these randoms that I bought from a store in Sunway Pyramid. They're called, this store is called the Lash Bar, and these lashes, I have no idea what they're called, but basically they're a little bit longer on the ends, and that's the kind of look that I'm going for. So I will just apply these false eyelashes and I will be right back. Okay, so I have applied the false eyelashes, and when you apply the false eyelashes, that's when you can really tell whether you need to intensify the eyeshadow, bring out the eyeliner a little bit more. In my case, I found that I needed to actually intensify the eyeshadow. I also used the Maybelline Hyper Sharp Liquid Eyeliner just to go over the band of the lash, just to make it tie into the rest of the makeup a little bit more. And now I'm going to move on to the brows. And I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Beauty Express Kit in Brunette for that, mixing in the two shades. And really accentuating the arch of my brow. So now I'm going to be moving on to concealer, and I'm going to be using this Shiseido Natural Finish Cream Concealer to do concealing both under the eyes as well as on the rest of my face. I'm going to start off with a simple flat concealer brush from the Silk Green Line range from Royal & Langnickel. I'm just going to pat it over where my eyes are darkest, in my under eye area, and then blend it out with my finger. Now Rihanna is pretty highlighted in this little V area underneath her eyes, so I'm going to take the concealer a bit lower down as well. I'm just going to pack it on with this brush and then blend it out with the foundation brush that I used earlier. Take it all the way up to the temples. And now, before I move on to the powdering, if I'm going to do powder, I'm actually going to go in with a highlighter. Now this one is pretty similar to the one that came out with the RiRi Hearts MAC Fall Collection. This is actually a Tom Ford Skin Illuminator, and this one is in the color Fire Lust. I'm just going to give it a bit of a shake. And this is a really gorgeous kind of pinky, goldy toned highlighter. I'm picking that up with the foundation brush that I've been using. And I'm going to go over my cheek area and on top of my cheekbones, and then down the center of my nose, as well as a little bit onto my forehead, and then in the usual areas, on the bridge, on my cupid's bow, and on my chin. Alright, so now I'm moving on to contouring, and Rihanna's face is pretty heavily contoured in this ad. And so I'm going in with my Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate palette. This is an Intensity 1. I'm just picking up the contour color, tapping off the excess on the back of my hand as usual. And then I'm going to go pretty close to the actual cheekbone and contour pretty heavily. Now with any kind of makeup product, when you want to do something heavily, you don't apply extra product on the get-go. Apply bit by bit, layering on the product and increasing the intensity just bit by bit until you get the intensity that you want. That way you don't end up with a bunch of product on your face that you don't want. Now I've decided I want my skin to maintain that really gorgeous glow that the Tom Ford Illuminator as well as the foundation gave me. So I'm not going to use any powder, but I am going to move on to blush. And I wanted to choose a really deep berry tone blush, so I'm going in with this Revlon Beyond Naturals blush, and it just looks like this. And this is the color Plumberry. I'm mixing in both colors and going in on top of that contour color that I applied earlier. Now finally onto the fun part of this tutorial, and that is Rihanna's really gorgeous berry toned lip. Now I couldn't get the products for her berry toned lip just because by the time I got in store, and this is on the day that the collection started selling, they were already sold out. So what I did instead was I went on a swatching mission and I went to every single store I could find and found products that are kind of similar, I guess, to her final makeup look. Now the first product I'm going to use is a lip liner, and this is the Prestige lip liner in the color Wine. Now Rihanna has a really defined Cupid's bow, so I'm going to try and copy that a little bit. But I don't want to run too far from my original lip shape, because it could look really comical. I'm coloring the entire lip in with this color. So that's the lip liner done, and now I'm going to move on to the lipstick. The lipstick color that I found that was closest to the RiRi Hearts MAC Fall Collection color is this MAC lipstick actually, and the color Hangout. Now it's almost exactly the same color except for the fact that this one is a cream sheen and Rihanna's lipstick is matte. So I'm just going to apply this straight from the bullet. And I'm going to show you a great trick if you are looking to mattify any cream textured lipstick. So if you're really keen on getting the exact Rihanna look, then what you can do is take a little bit of pressed powder or loose powder, whichever one, pick it up on a little brush, whatever brush you have, and just kind of dust it over your lipstick. And that will kind of mattify the color and tone down the shine a little bit. And so this is the final RiRi Hearts MAC Fall Collection inspired look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have any questions about the look at all or any requests for other looks, please let me know down in the comment box below. Thank you so much you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!